Okay, so this is just to follow up with our last lesson, which was number 10B, when we talked about the shape of the patterns that we might be able to play when we are spanning the second and third string, and when we're playing 1 3 4, I mean 1 3 2 1 4 3 1, and now we have lots of choices. So I encourage you to explore that. And what I'm going to encourage you to do today, out of the many possibilities, pick one and stick with it for a while. There's going to be times when you are going to want to have options. A lot of, well, let's say something really quick about fingering. The first rule, so to speak, it's a rule that gets broken a lot, but you can start with the rule of assigning one finger per fret. So say if if our little tune is starting here, 1 3 2 1 4 3 1, then I guess we would want, yeah, if we were starting there, we would only start here if we needed to get back in this fret for some reason. But if we're going to do that pattern first, then we would assign this finger to this fret. Anything on this fret is played by this finger, unless we decide to break the rule. Anything on this fret is played by this finger, anything on this fret by this one, and so on. Anything in this fret by this one. And then there are lots of reasons why you might want to break that rule, but that's the thing you look at first, because that facilitates getting a lot done very efficiently. However, we're going to break that rule right away if we play the fingering that I just played. Let's just stick with that one. Let's start with the place, assuming you've developed a little skill, and we'll back up if you haven't, but sometimes actually this is a good way to start learning how to bar. When I'm doing, this would be like the most obvious way to finger this, is to bar, because we're playing a note on the second string third fret and a note on the third string third fret in pretty quick succession. So it makes it easier to just bar. So I'm playing 3 2 3 2. Sorry, that was totally 1 3 1 3. Here's my 1 on the, oh, I'll tell you about this guitar a little later. You might be wondering why I'm playing this old cheap guitar. It's a special guitar. Third fret. Let's make sure you can see where I am. Third fret, third string, and that's 1, and then 3 is going to be on second string third fret. And then we get 2, whoops, we get 1 3, we get 2 1, like that, and then we get 4 4 3 1. So the first obvious fingering would be to bar here, and I'll show you what to do if you feel like you can't bar yet. But if you can bar here and get both of those strings, and they ring nice together, that's another nice reason. If I played if I played it with the same finger, it would get cut off. So let's start here, 1 3, and if this is 1, this is 2. So I'm holding the bar, 1 3 2, because this is 1, this is 2. And then to get 4, we're going to use the finger that's assigned to that fret. So 1 3 2 1 4 3 1. And now before, I'll show a few different choices, and I want you to just pick one to focus on for a while. You can learn the others later. I seem to have a slow brain today. The other thing, if you want to be a little bit more advanced, is, since we're barring here, it gives you the opportunity to do some pull-offs. And in order to do that, you need a little bit of strength in the fingers that are reaching. Look at where my thumb is. If my thumb was back here near the index finger, then these fingers would be weak. But if my thumb is here, that gives strength to these fingers, especially pinky if you need it. So that's something to experiment with. Part of what these exercises are for is to give you something that's not a whole song, and you can develop your technique. And things like this will become a habit. You might not even think about where your thumb is, but it's like, wow, I need to give these fingers some strength, and your thumb will end up here. So be aware of little things like that can make a huge difference. If you're ever feeling weak, experiment with the mechanics of your hand and try to make it strong. Okay, so I'll show you those two again, and then we'll move on. 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 1. And if you also have this choice. Whoops. You have that choice. And I'll explain it in a minute. And why you would pick one or the other, well, a big part of fingering that is lost to a lot of people or not taught is that you don't just pick your fingering based on the easiest way to get there, but you think about where you're going to be going next. So when it is in the context of a song, you might want to go down here because your next chord is a C or something like that. Or you might want to be up here because your next chord is going to be a G, who knows. But that's really a big part of choosing which fingers to use, is where you're going to go next. So this one, we're going to assign our fingers like this because we are going to use index finger and this fret. Let me show you the notes first. This is the third string, 1, 3 is the same. We can get 2 here, 1 where we started. 4 is going to be up here, 3, 1. So we can get these two with third finger and pinky. And then when we want to get 2, pick up pinky, and get first finger. And then you're going to use pinky for 4. And you can see how I'm letting go of my other fingers. So my hand can relax. And then I'm going to go back to that finger for ring finger for 3rd fret on the 2nd string. And then, so both notes can ring. I'm going to use a different finger for there. So again, it goes like this, starting with those 2 fingers. 1, 3, 2. Let's try from a different angle in case it's hard to see. Oh, I did it different that time, didn't I? I do it after years and years, you just do it with that. So there's another option to slide the pinky up and down and keep that finger there. Actually, that's a good one because then this finger becomes like an anchor and you always know where you're at because you haven't lifted all your fingers off the strings. It seems like there was another one I was going to show you that's in here. Let's see. Okay, and now we're just getting into fluff. But something for those of you who are more advanced or you just want to know more, I want to show you an example of how these exercises help you to discover the guitar. So is anyone remembering that if I play 1 here, 2 can be here, and 3 can be here, right? And if you want to have fun, you can do some sliding. We can slide all the way up to 4. 4 is always just 1 fret higher than 3. Remember we said that was 3? So there's 4. Let me do that again. And 3 is right there. And if 3 is there, there's a 1 right next to it. Right there. Whoops, sorry. And that might be something you do just because you like the slide. And if you wanted to do that slide, you might not want to go all the way back down there. It's good to know that wherever you have a 3, you have a 1 right there next to it. And this will help you find chords later on. This is part of the shape of a chord right here. This 1, 3. Every third is a part of a chord. And we get into that a lot in the Become a Natural class, and we'll get into that more later on in this series. Let me see. So I think that's it for fingering ideas on the 2nd and 3rd string on the using 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 1.